I already have it. I think I already have it. Yeah. So I don't need to download it. But that doesn't work. You can just Google. There it came up finally. So that link does work. And you're looking for the Metasplittable Linux zip file. It's a little less than a gig. Okay? So download that and it should have a zip. When you unzip it, it should be roughly 1.8 gigs. Okay? Now, comparatively speaking to what the Windows server was, this is a lot smaller. Good thing. Okay? Just like what you did with the Windows box. Okay? Let me shut this guy down. Go to File, Open. Once you move that, once you unzip the Metasplittable2 folder and put it in your virtual machines folder, should have a folder that says Metasplittable2 Linux. Find your VMX file, open. Remember, just like with other VMs, you copied it, you did not move it, you copied it. Come up and say, hey, you move it or copy it. Or maybe it won't, because I've already installed it. Once it opens, yada 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 yada. Uh-oh. Goop. Ah, I left it on that. Okay, no problem. No problem. Here's what we can do. I will just reboot my Kali box. So when working with Metasplittable, because it's kind of a commercial target, if you work with it on the NAT network, it's okay. Not that big of a deal. It actually kind of works a little bit better if it's on the NAT network and your Kali box is on the NAT network too. So I'm going to change my adapter from VMNet1 to NAT. Okay, and I'm going to restart. Who's worked through Lab 2 already? One person? Nobody else has? Oops. No. Not on Lab 2. Lab 2 I feel is a lot easier than Lab 1. A lot easier. So there's documentation online you can go and find and use. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, so I need to get an IP address. Alright, so I'm on the NAT network. Now, I gotta find Metasplittable. Metasplittable comes up and it grabs a DHCP address as well. So I cannot tell you what the IP address of Metasplittable is going to be. Because guess what? Your NAT network is going to be different than mine. It's going to be different than the person sitting next to you. I don't know. That's okay. Here's how you find it. You do a scan. Okay, you can scan your network, or if you know how your DHCP is set up, mine, I got dot 129. Maybe it was like dot 128. Ooh, that was promising. All right. Pull up scanner. Pull up ZenMap or Nmap. See what you get. Oh wow, yeah, that's definitely metasploitable. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. So, let's see, go with that one. Go with that one. Let's see. Alright. So, up to this point, basically I've downloaded Metasploitable, put it in my virtual machine directory, I opened it up, I got it and my Kali box on the NAT network, same network, and I found its IP address. So I basically got through number one. Alright? All you need for number one is to show me that ping that you did. Show me that you found it. Don't worry, you're gonna do this again. But all I really want for number one is that ping. Yep. From SourceForge, yes. There's a link in the lab.
Does it have to be on that, or we can leave it on VNet 1 or whatever?
It doesn't matter as long as you get to it. As long as you can show that you can ping it and scan it and this and that and the other, that's fine.
So no internet activity?
You don't have to, but if you have it on that for whatever reason, I'm okay with it. No, I've been recorded so many times, it's ridiculous. Okay, do an OpenVOS scan. I know a lot of you are struggling with OpenVOS. I'm sorry. It's kind of like the rite of passage. It is. It's digital pen test hazing at its best. But guess what? It's a great conversation piece when you go and you interview for these jobs. Because guess what? Because you have suffered through OpenVOS, the people who are interviewing you have probably suffered through OpenVOS. Right?
Is it used in the commercial?
Huh?
They use it in the commercial?
Some of them do. I use it as a commercial tool for just a second scanner, a second set of eyes, that type of thing. So yeah, it's used. And it crashes on me at work all the time. Like I said, pen test hazing. Okay, so you're going to produce a report. You've done this a couple of times, should be easy. Gain root access using the Unreal IRC backdoor. Okay, not hard. Go back to the Kali. Let's go back in Armitage. What does IRC stand for, people?
Internet relay chat.
Internet relay chat. What is IRC used for a lot of times?
Yeah.
From a hacking perspective? Command and control. Very good. Very good. Okay. So, you can also do a scan when you set up Armitage. You can do this from console as well. You're just using Metasploit raw. Oh. Right? So I know that my IP was what? 128. Oh, that's right, 128. 226, 128. Thank you. Alright? You can get rid of this one if you want to. You can just remove it. When you're working on Lab 2. You can keep it there if you want to, it doesn't matter. host, nmap scan, attend scan. 192, 8, 6, 8. Hey, look there. All kinds of good ports. Let it run do its thing. Well, that's going. Let's read ahead while it's doing this scan. All right, so I gotta do the Unreal thing. Find a web page being served by Metasploit scan. OWASP Zap. So now we're gonna start talking about doing some web application vulnerability stuff. So one of the open source tools that is used and is comparable to Nmap or ZenMap is OWASP Zap. OWASP Zap is really easy. So all we gotta do is find a web page on this doggone thing. Okay? So we'll come back to this in a second. Let's just open up a browser. We know our IP. We've done an nmap scan or two. So let's just take a look at just the IP itself. Anything come up? No. That sucks. Oh, I put HTTPS. Maybe not. Oh, hey, there's a web page. That's cool. I have WebDAV, I have multi-day. You're going to use this a lot in Burp Suite and Beep. PHP my admin. So let's just try damn vulnerable web app. Or oh, you know what? Let's do something. That's a good one. So let's just copy. That would be a URL. And let's go back to applications, web application analysis, OWASP Zap. Okay. Load up. I'm running an older version. You might be actually running on like 2.8 or 2.9 by now. I don't know. Hackers are creative, man. I just go with the default here, it's no big deal. And look, this is how easy this is. Oops. Paste. Attack. This is more of a scan, all right? Looking for open ports or potential things, all right? You should not get any reds, or you should very seldom get reds. That's like really bad. You might get some mediums in the alert process, but let that run. Let it do its thing. You can come up to the alert tab, and it will show you in real time all the stuff it's finding. As it's doing a scan, you see everything, you know, building up. It'll show you raw code. So this is where a lot of web application vulnerabilities come into play because of disclosure. Items that are left in HTML, right? Java applets, stuff that's left in the clear that can be scanned. Okay, so all I'm looking for that one, for the OWASP Zap, is a screenshot that you did the scan. Any screenshot will suffice. Okay, show me code, you show me that you have the alerts from the IP address, etc. You're fine. And it might take a while for it to finish its scan because it is doing a spider. It's doing a trace of all the subdirectories of the website. Don't do this with Google. You'll blow your computer up. Not that I've ever done it.
Wait, really? I should just think about it.
Hey, I get bored on Saturday nights sometimes, man. Okay. All right, back to real IRC. So I'm going to go back to Armitage. Oops. Back to Armitage. All right, now that I've done my InMap scan and it's finished and everything else, okay, I can highlight it and I can go to attacks and find attacks. Okay, I hope that you never come across a system that is hosed as Metasploitable. Okay, you should only do this in training. You should never come across a client's machine that is this bad. Ever. You just shouldn't because. So, under attacks, if I right click on the computer, under attacks, IRC. See where I have the Unreal IRC backdoor? Check. Use reverse TCP connection. You want to make sure that your remote host and your local host are good. Launch.
What is that, a reverse connection?
That is actually setting up a reverse TCP connection so that you get that. Now you have a shell. So now I can interact with the box. So now I have shell 1. I can click interact. I'm in the system. I can go out. CD root. EWD. I'm in root. Right? LS. There's all my main sources. CD space Etsy. I'm in Etsy. Okay? If I know a little bit about what's under Etsy, okay, I can go to different subdirectories. Right? So let's see a good one. Etsy SSH, that's great. So CD, WAC, Etsy, SSH. SSH config, nice. So I can go into SSH config, I can upload my own SSH keys, I can create my own users. See where I'm going with this? See why system administration is so handy than just, oh, I can hack into a box. Great, what do you do after you get the box? It's kind of like the dog that catches the car. Think about it. Right. Oh, she just got it. That's cool. The dog that caught the car. Yeah, dogs chasing cars. Trust me, if you go into project management in this environment, pen testing, I guarantee you will work with some dogs that are chasing cars. And I'm not talking about that literally. I'm talking about that figuratively. Okay? A la the wonderful life of herding cats. So
the SSH config, is that like a file that you can edit with
you've never set up SSH in Linux, I assume? Okay. So SSH in Linux, you basically create a user, you assign that user to a group. You can create a private key for that user on the box, private public key pair. You put the public key on the box, and then I can download the private key myself, and then I can use that to log into the box.
So if you get into that SSH config, all the information should be in that file?
No, that's where you upload. That's where you configure different pieces of information. So I can set what shell I'm gonna use. I can set up my home directory. I can lock other users out of SSH. All kinds of great stuff. Again, this is why the organizations that are out there are looking for not just people who can break into boxes, but people who know what to do after they get in. Very important.
control them as well.
That's a little bit harder. That's why I'm always trying to improve my Windows target every quarter. And you can actually go to vuln hubs. Unfortunately, since Windows is a licensed operating system, it's harder to find or come up with vulnerable boxes, right? Whereas on vuln hub, you can find fun stuff to play around with. So vuln hub is basically a repository where people have built vulnerable Linux machines. You can download them. They're either in VM player, VM workstation format, or VirtualBox format. So you can actually do all this stuff in VirtualBox too. It's a little more popular in the hacking community because it's free. All right. VM workstation is, I think, is just a little bit easier to use. So you can find all kinds of fun stuff in here. Some of them have step-by-step guides on the attacks that you can pull off. Some of them won't. People just upload stuff. Okay. So again, always use it in a controlled environment. And there's all levels of difficulty. Easy to, like, insanely hard. So if you want to practice, if you want to go for that OSCP someday, we'll spend a lot of time in this repository. Offensive Security Certified Professional. It is the premier certification for pen testers. It's a big industry. Yep. Guys got any questions? Yes, sir?
Have you taken the OSCP?
Huh?
Have you taken the OSCP?
No, I'm not taking the OSCP. I just have not had time. I've got to go sit my CEH test, and then I have an incentive to go and get my AWS certification this year, because I have a customer that wants me to help them set up a really large environment in AWS, and they want me certified. So they said they'd give me $5,000 if I went and got a certification. Like, yeah, maybe. You come across that though. You come across those management-based objectives sometimes. Sometimes if you go and work for an organization, they have to have certain numbers of people certified. Integration, Cisco integrators, Juniper integrators, HP integrators, they're like that all the time. And they incentivize, they will pay for your training, pay for your test. And if it's a really, really big certification, like this used to be the way that they had people get CCIEs a long time ago. Right? When I first had my CCIE test, I never got it. But I had a $20,000 bonus if I did. This is like back in the early 2000s. Now they wouldn't pay me squats for a CCIE. Yeah. I've had my CCNP since 2000. I take that back, I've had it since 99. Yeah, coming up on 20 years. Let's take a look real quick.
It's actually like October 17th.
Yeah. It's October 17th? Oh God, it doesn't close.
Well, somewhere next quarter.
We'll have to figure out time travel.
You just won't get points for it this quarter.
It's for 2017.
I'll see your bluff and race you twice.
That's what we have to go back in time. No, we have to break into Blackboard and submit it a year ago.
I'm more worried about homework file.
I think he's doing it right now. He's doing it right now, I think.
He's doing homework 4. He's changing.
No, that's good.
The due date is 2/4. Okay, available is 2. Alright, fine. Make it the 11th. I'm in a good mood. I was in such a crappy mood when I got to campus. Some of the students that I saw, they just, I felt like I kicked their kitten or something. It was a horrible night. I get to this class and I don't know, man. I don't know. You like my favorite class? Huh? I think I felt like I kicked the cat in a couple of students. I thought you said kick the cat. That's all right. I was just rough with him earlier, so yeah, I don't know. I had a bad day. This is I'm getting lost, damn it. That was section 1. So if I fix it for you guys, I gotta fix it for the other ones. Oh wow, you're right, it is, dude. Oh, that's just the due date though, that doesn't matter. Oh wow, this one's not closing. We gotta fix that.
He hasn't changed it yet. He hasn't updated.
Or yeah, he's doing it right now.
Alright, now let's take a look at homework 5. Homework 5 is what I want to give you plenty of time on because it's, like I said, it's challenging, it's fun, you put a lot of time into it, but it's very time
How many
consuming.
times we can do the midterm marks?
So yeah, that's what I gotta fix.
Yeah, this class. I heard it's the 11th. I think it's the 11th.
Give you the 18th on that.
The 10th.
Next 10 days.
Yeah, I can't believe it's week 5. This is blowing me away. It seems like it's like week 3 or week 2.
Cancel some of the. He hasn't updated.
Oh, I didn't have a due date or 11. Yeah, I want to make sure you have plenty of time to do the stretch one. It's fun. Challenging. It's fun. All right, you guys got any questions? So, one note on the wireless project, wireless lab. A lot of you guys have been doing it and missing points, and I don't care. I don't mind if you redo it if you lost points. If you're doing it at home with your home router, I just want to see that the password is set to password. If you can't, if you have one of these routers that you can't set it to password, like I had a gentleman that showed me that tonight, show me that it can't be set to password, and okay, fine. I know that you at least cracked into it. I know some of you are manipulating the password library file. That's great. That's wonderful. Okay? All right, you don't get extra points, you don't get bonus points, but still, I think you're learning a lot. Hopefully, all of you are getting something out of this class. Really? It's good. That's why I'm here. I want to give you guys some real world skills.
Did you update it right now, or?
Yep.
It's still showing February 4th.
Which one?
Homework 4 and 5.
I just hit update.
It doesn't show up. Yeah, I did.
No, I did not do the one from last year. Yeah, the due date's still going to show the other one, but it does not, the homework will not close out until that date. Okay? No, you won't. Alright, so, yeah, I will try to go through this weekend and clean up all my due dates. Fair enough. Alright, anybody else got anything? Otherwise, I'm going to cut y'all loose.
So when you're gonna
Midterm review. Wow. I've already had people taking the midterm. Okay? And like I said in class last week, if you go through the book and you look at the questions in the back of the book, you'll be just fine. In the back of the chapters of the book, you'll be just fine.
Okay.
Okay? Like the average right now, the midterm is like a 96.
I don't know.
What?
No. It's very similar. Some of them are verbatim. No, I'm not lying. Some of them I went through and I changed a couple things here and there. That's one of the reasons that that's only like 20% of your grade.
I don't like that.
Are you listening me?
So, I couldn't hear you. I'm still
I
recording.
am
You
behind
did it one time
grade.
before. Can you do it one more time, please? The first page.
Yeah. I just, if you just email it to me, I'm
But this one short.
way
I don't
behind.
want to keep every other week come to you.
Midterm, oh, the midterm is not due till February 10th.
I actually